The water delivery man glanced at the little girl's hand and immediately noticed her finger was broken. Looking around, he snatched a boy's ice cream, finished it in 2 or 3 bites, and then used the ice cream stick on the girl's finger. He quickly ripped off the girl's hair tie and fashioned a simple splint. Afterward, Jack jokingly asked the girl for a treatment fee. Just then, the girl's father arrived to take her home. Jack reminded the girl's father to go to the hospital for a checkup. Later, the girl and her father arrived at the hospital. The doctor was surprised when he saw the finger splint and told them that the splint had been applied properly and on time. If it had been delayed, the finger might have suffered necrosis. The doctor recommended the girl get a CT scan. But as she rounded a corner, she heard that familiar voice. It was Jack, the one who had helped her earlier. The girl's father was about to thank him when he suddenly began coughing violently. Jack immediately sensed something was wrong and placed his hand on the man's chest for a diagnosis. The father pushed him away, insisting that he was fine. But soon, the father began to have difficulty breathing. Meanwhile, a major highway accident resulted in a large number of injured patients being rushed into the hospital. The girl was anxious seeing her father in distress and tried to find a doctor to help him. But all the doctors were busy with the injured and ignored her. In desperation, she screamed for help. When the doctors heard her, they resumed their work. From outside the window, Jack silently witnessed everything. Just then, a kind-hearted female doctor approached and asked what was going on. She was about to examine the girl's father when another doctor called her away. In her rush, the female doctor instructed a colleague to take the father for a CT scan. Jack, still worried, decided to follow them. But in the elevator, the father suddenly collapsed. Jack and the doctor rushed to help him out of the elevator and laid him flat. The doctor hurried to grab the emergency tools, while Jack placed his hand on the father's chest. Immediately, a 3D image of the man's heart appeared in Jack's mind. He realized the father had gone into cardiac arrest. Meanwhile, the doctor returned with a simple breathing device, but Jack grabbed it from her, angrily shouting for them to bring the defibrillator. When the nurse brought over the defibrillator, Jack quickly performed CPR. With his help, the father's heartbeat was restored, but immediate surgery was needed. However, the surgical team was tied up with other operations and couldn't get there in time. Every second counted, and the father was at risk of dying at any moment. Hearing this, the girl silently began to cry. Just as Jack turned to leave, the girl grabbed his hand, reached into her pocket, and handed him the only coin she had. Seeing the girl's helpless tears, Jack silently vowed to do everything in his power to help her father.